Iffy. Are we there yet?
That's odd. I'm pretty sure it was in this direction.
Don't tell me we're lost.
I hope not, but it's been a while since I came. Let's ask someone.
Well, how about that I'm going on an adventure-looking person there? Hello? You with the red hair?
What is it?
I want to meet Lady Blackheart, but can you tell me where to go to meet her?
Lady Blackheart? Oh, you mean Lady Noir. Well, just head down this path, take a right, and you'll find the Basilicom. Looks like the general direction was correct. Thank you. Got to help each other in need, right?
Well, since we've met, do you mind if I ask you your name? My name is Neptune. This here is Compa and Iffy.
My name is Falcom. I'm a newbie adventurer. If you're in a pickle and you need help, just give me a holler.
Really?
Thanks. Oh, we're in a hurry, so we have to run. Hope we meet again soon. Yeah. See you again. Whew. What a surprise. I didn't expect to meet them in this realm.
Alright, attempt 3 of recording this. Falcom at the end there was saying, from this realm, like she's coming from another realm, and that's because she is. She comes from Hyperdimension, aka where the main series is based and every game after this is based. It's just, where in the remaster, they added some of the characters from later titles back to it. There's a couple bits of like flavor text like that they added to those characters in those remasters, so then you know that this game is no longer canon. It's just what they decided to do. Don't give it too much thought, it's just how they handle it. So I said remind you. But after that cutscene, you can now get access to development discs. Or disc development, it's the other way around. But the idea of it is that you can make these idea chips, or find idea chips to explore, and use them to create very specific builds, to adjust specific weaknesses to better compensate, or make it so you're stronger in a specific range, or to use the yellow chips to alter more experimental or unique abilities. Like the only one we've picked up, to give an example, is that we've got one that makes it so the cost of transforming into HDD in terms of SP cost is far lower. Meaning, if you're using a character that's very reliant on transformation, of like using their goddess form, you can equip something to them to make it a little bit more viable. Which is what I do for now. I just for now put the thing on Nep. And put the Dragon Defense and Battle End HP heal on Iffy. As time goes on, we'll pick up more discs so we can actually, you know, equip more to them. But for now, that's what I'm going with. So obviously we'll get far more later, and you can strip the discs apart to rebuild them later if you don't like what they have once you've got better stuff later on. We need to meet the CPU. We're trying to get Nep's memory back. Oh, I know, this must be an event flag where I just have to name myself first. My name is Neptune. This here is Compa and Iffy. Stop rambling, I don't care who or what you are, now get out of here. Wow, so much for civility from the Basilicom. They say clothes make the man, but I guess the CPU isn't all that great. See what she wants, I could care less what Blackheart is being called. Hey, you got a group of cute girls here pleading, come on, let us meet her. Nap, let's go, we're wasting our time here. Iffy, you giving up already? It's game over the moment you give up. Let's just go. And as we leave, we finally get our introduction scene to Lady Blackheart herself, or Noir, who, if you've only played V2R or the more recent spin-offs, you might be surprised to hear a different voice coming from her in this, because in Rebirth 1, she was still voiced by her original actress, in the same vein Vert is. In Reverse, they didn't record any new dialogue outside of getting Nep's actress to voice over the tutorials. So they just reused all that old audio from Rebirth 1 for Reverse. So you're going to be hearing Noir's original actress and Vert's original actress during this, instead of the new actresses that they've got more recently. Now that I'm here, I've noticed that faith in me has been waning. It looks like a major company called Avenir has taken over Lastation. Also, I love Noir's theme in this game. With me gone, it looks like everyone put faith in Avenir instead. But this isn't the only problem I have with Avenir. They ousted my faithful from the Basilicom and took over the place. Now I'm being monitored, so I have to sneak out to maintain the peace here. Basilicom. I really don't want to go back there. Just like in V2R when I did the Let's Play of that, I have no idea what voice to give Noir. I end up giving her one similar to the one I give Nep, just because of how those two click as characters to begin with series-wide, but still. Oh yes, they didn't treat the goddess name with respect. That's weird. What's so weird? Maybe they're like buddy-buddy and talk super casual. Well, there's no way people in the land would call their CPU by name. Do you remember the person at the Planetune Basilicom? He was weird, but he still respected the CPU by addressing her properly. But here, they're just treating the CPU with scorn. This isn't normal. Iffy, you're traveling all over the world, right? Do you know something? Sorry, Compa. I mostly stayed in Planetoons. I don't have any info now. So much for the adventuring character, eh, Iffy? But don't worry, we won't kick you out just because you faked your resume. Even if your level is low, we'll be together even to the next game sequel. Kind of ironic, this coming from someone who lost their memory, eh? Haha, sorry. Anyway, back on subject, I propose we do some quests, how about it? We still have money, right? Why do we need to go do on quests now? Oh wait, don't tell me you used up our funds on your own pleasures! No, we have money, it's not like I'd sneak out and buy pudding like you, Nep. What, you knew? Dead obvious, you thought I didn't notice? Yup. Anyway, remember how the key fragment was with the disc in Planetune? Don't you think it could have been the same in Lastation too? You're a genius, Iffy. I'm sorry I thought you were useless earlier. Nep, I don't think you need to add and bring up the last part.
Is that her? The person who wants us to fight monsters?
She's kinda small. I was thinking like a big burly man or something.
She's staring at us. Now she's waving. I think she's the right person.
I suppose she's come to the same conclusion about us.
So it's you girls? You're gonna take the work I ordered? Are you sure you'll be okay?
More than okay. Nice to meet you. I'm IF. This is Compa, and that's Neptune.
Well, I guess you wouldn't have come if you weren't okay. My name's Xian. I run a small factory called Passe. Now, no use standing around here. Follow me.
Didn't you say you ran a factory? This place looks more like a cafeteria.
My parents run the cafeteria. The factory is right next door. You'd rather speak at a cleaner place, right? Take a seat.
Dibs on the bar stool! With this cafeteria, you can order a heck load of parfaits and puddings.
That's not going to create revenue, you know? The factory isn't enough, so we make do with the cafeteria, too.
Sorry to intrude, but could you tell us the details to the work?
Sure. I need you to take care of the monster around the trade route. It used to be safe, but recently a large monster appeared from nowhere. With the route unsafe, all trade is halted.
Bingo! This may be the work we're looking for. We'll take that order.
Good. With Avenir killing the market, we don't need any more problems.
Xian, what's this Avenir?
Wait, you don't know Avenir?
Yes, we just arrived into Lastation today, so we don't know this Avenir.
Avenir is a major company that's pretty much ruling Lastation. They make everything from goods to weapons, and is controlling the market. People like me can't compete with them, so our products don't sell well. And it's not like they create work. I know a few who closed shop already.
That's terrible. It goes against antitrust laws.
Didn't you talk with the CPU? It's hard to believe that she would let this go.
Myself and others tried, but Lady Blackheart was away for too long. Avenir placed their goons in the Basilicom. Now they pretty much own it. Such a waste, since Lady Blackheart just returned from Celestia. Avenir won't let us near the lady at all.
So Avenir is bad. Everyone is suffering because of them, right?
They're not just bad, they're monsters.
I see. So that explains the treatment we got back at the Basilicom.
So I guess we can't meet the goddess through the Basilicom then, can we?
How about we barge into where the CPU Lady Blackhearth lives? We could get info on the key fragment and help Xian. What a bargain!
Okay, Nep. Let's go on stealth and stand by at Lady Blackhearth's room.
Lady Black, Heart, not Lady Blackhearth. But if you don't know where the lady is, the guards will just spot you.
Well, we have to try, right? I'm more the type to try and fail instead of not trying at all.
Not this time, Nep. If we play this wrong, we'll never meet the lady. And if that happens, we'll be harming Xion and folks more than they need. Let's take care of Xion's order first. Let's take it in steps, okay?
So the problem is not just that Avenir is stripping away the goddess's power by dethroning her legacy. It's like taking over the church. They're also monopolizing the country for themselves. So they won't even call me by name anymore. When and where I am is my choice. Are you trying to confine me? Sit here nice and pretty like a wallflower? No, that's not what we're getting at. We're just worried. Well, I'll assume what you said is what you mean then. And anything to tell me while I was gone? No, nothing in particular. So I assume something did happen then. It was very petty, so it isn't much of interest to report on. By my orders, speak on this petty item. 3 girls came to see you and caused a commotion, that is all. Came to see me? Oh, so describe these girls to me. One of these girls was Neptune, or something like that. Did you say Neptune? A girl with light purple hair with a spiky lift? Yes, I suppose that was the You can't say it right, can you? The Nep something girl does match the details. Do you know her? Know her? It's more than that. What is she thinking visiting me here in Lastation? Will you go and meet this girl? I believe that would be futile. What do you mean? Seems she lost her memory. That is why she came to see you. Lost her memory? Could it be because of that battle? If so, that explains a lot. CPU? If I fought Neptune with her memory back, would I be able to defeat her? But without her memory, I may be able to win. If I can beat Neptune, I can regain my seat in power back in Lastation. Alright then, time to make a visit to Neptune. I know I said, you know, oh, you're the original actress and whatnot, but we've yet to have a voiced scene with her, so come on, give me a break. There is new stuff in the shop, but if you've been doing the fishing in reverse, some of it's not going to be worth it. And if I'm honest with you, anytime I went through Rebirth 1, and so like the original, like I say original, the first remaster where you didn't get the extra characters for free, like we did the other video, and you only had a party of 3, I didn't bother buying new weapons for Compa. I tend to just lean into, I'm just going to let her go as her worth wanes and get other people in. As and when they pop up, I will explain what my OG team is when you've only got a party of 3. Also, in Lastation is how you get the item change and enemy change for the Mech Factory, that second optional dungeon that we did. And the environment we're going to, the West Wind Valley, that is where the materials to unlock the third optional dungeon is. Sorry, my throat went a little there. But Miss Manual over here will also give you a second cassette, which is the same idea as the first. But unlike the first one, you can also equip a blue chip. It's very dependent on the disc what chips you can equip, because it will specify what colors you can have on it, but it will also specify the level limit. Discs, the actual chips themselves have several different levels, with the higher levels obviously being stronger. Early game discs usually won't allow high level chips, but you can get extremely lucky and get those chips very early, like I said, if the fates align. We're here! So this is where that monster thingy is going to appear. Well, no monsters will beat me, I'll just snap my fingers and blow them up! Hey, Iffy, Compa, hurry! Nip, wait, I'm so tired! When Nip this excited, she'll lose her spunk when she needs it. Who needs a last-gen yellow stamina bar? I've got infinite stamina! Let's just wipe out the monsters in the area and report back to Xion. Yeah, you say that like you say that last-gen stamina bar, but there's new games that have stamina bars. It was brought back with a vengeance since Nep 1 came out.
Who wants to get beaten first?
Due to like open world games like Breath of the Wild, and well, basically every game that took inspiration from it since, there are a lot of games that have stamina bars back in motion. And this is like, I think the original Nep, I'm trying to think, like, the original Neptunia, I think it came out in 2010, right? When did Dark Souls 1 come out? Because Dark Souls 1 ended up also kind of re-inspiring a lot of games that have stamina bars back. And this isn't me trying to do the whole, it's the Dark Souls of me. No, this is me just making a point of Dark Souls' insane popularity when it came out probably had something to do as well with a fair number of other games that once didn't have stamina, reintegrating stamina bars, or integrating them to begin with if they never had them.
You're hurt. Leave it to me.
But yeah, there's a few lines of dialogue in this game which are jokes at an old generation of games that, due to how the industry has shifted, has aged weirdly. I don't think anything's aged as interestingly as the post-game optional like boss villain that you get in the third game, where the villain is basically a giant dig at the mobile phone industry because it's two rats and everything they're doing is all about like microtransactions and micropayments to play the game where you used to be able to just play it normal, and it's the way of the future, but they're little rats, so you're not supposed to like them. And it's a giant dig at the mobile phone industry, and it's a dig that still stands very interestingly to this day, because a lot of curses and problems in the main industry was birthed in the mobile phone industry and then expanded into AAA very greedily, without a care in the world for the actual player base that wants to enjoy those games. It's like the domination of algorithms in the AAA industry really came into its own over the past few years, and it's really depressing to see because none of those fucking games are fun. I think I can say that, right? Like, they sell absolute millions, and I don't mean this to try and be taking a hot take, but none of them are fun. The AAA market as a whole, it's very rare for me to play a AAA game and be like, wow, I'm enjoying this. The last one was Returnal. I genuinely got a big kick out of Returnal, and it was why I 100%ed it and platinumed it. But like, that's been it. I really haven't enjoyed the AAA industry at large, regardless of what I pick up. Even the ones that I think I will like, I've really struggled with them. And even the ones I like with a asterisk. Like Guilty Gear Strive. I really like Guilty Gear Strive. But there's no denying the fact that, like, oh, I won't drop it, but when Melty Blood 2 comes out, Melty Blood Type Lumina comes out, if Persona 4 Arena gets remastered, or things like of that nature come around, or if Blaze Blue Central Fiction gets rollback implemented, I'll probably play Strive a hell of a lot less. So I won't drop it because I do enjoy the game. I just don't enjoy it the way I enjoy those other kind of more niche, more anime-eccentric games that feel more crazy. Like, I love what Strive's doing, and I love how beginner-friendly it is while still having a lot under the surface, and I think the way Guilty Gear Strive handled its beginner-friendliness is a hell of a lot better than a lot of other games over the past few years have tried to handle its beginner-friendliness in the fighting games. Like, yes, it is more simplified, but it still feels like there's a lot under the hood, and it feels like there's a lot of mechanics just elsewhere from where it was in Exard. Like, a lot of the detailed mechanics in Strive come from Roman cancels now, when they used to come almost entirely from the actual, movesets. Well, some of the shit you can pull off Roman cancels in Strive, you just couldn't do in Exard. And I love that. I love the craziness you can pull off in Strive, but at the same time, the actual raw movesets are a lot easier. I think the only thing that would be an actual catch in the system is that I have seen that Jacko trailer, and if she looks as fun as she's gonna be, if she plays as fun as she looks, I mean, she will finally start being that first step into getting things complicated again. Because yes, I know it will be like simplified compared to how she is in Exard. Like, she doesn't have houses anymore. Like, she's gone homeless. She, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in Exard, Jacko, the playable character, has minions. But to power up those minions, you had to dedicate a move to placing these huts on the ground, and the huts would build up energy and they would make the minions stronger. If you looked after the minions, they then looked after you in the fight, and it's how you kind of dominate rounds in the long run. But it was slow and you had to be very tactical with it. In Strive, from what we've seen from the trailer, like, we haven't had the gameplay breakdown yet, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Things could be different and they could have just not shown it. They got rid of the houses but kept the minions being powered up. But instead, the way they did it, instead of almost like planting the minions down and then they go forward, you can like whack them around. You can yeet them at the opponent. There's even a part in the trailer where she sets a suicide bomb on them, and then just before it blows up, Jacko straight up kicks it at an Eno, and it blows up on her. There's a point where she summons it at point blank range in a defensive mode to not only guard an attack, but it guard breaks in return the opponent. Like, they proper bounce off it, leaving them wide open. And it's like things like that. It's like, yes, that's what Strive needs. Just those little like catches almost. Just characters that play different and like throw that can throw the current balance of the game out the window, especially because we know that there's going to be a universal damage scaling during this month as well, and it'll probably drop with Jacko, if I'm honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop together, because there was a backyard, I think they call it, like a developer's backyard, where they talked about it, and essentially, like, they don't want to get rid of stuff, they don't want to nerf stuff. They want to essentially just go down what they recently did for Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is buff everyone to the same level instead of nerfing the strong to the level. Obviously, if there's really extreme examples, like Soul's clean hit mechanic, that will be toned down. They mentioned in it that they said that they will be toning back the damage of extremely powerful characters, and that to me just rings, they're gonna nerf the damage scaling of clean hit on Soul, and that's probably it. Which, to be honest, a lot of people complain about fast slash, but I genuinely don't think fast slash is the problem. It's the clean hit damage that's the problem. Fast slash, you learn to read. You genuinely learn to predict and read, and it's not a problem. It's just good at catching you, and it's a good pressure tool. Genuinely, to me, the thing that's always been a problem with me fighting Soul isn't the fast slash. It's I forget what it's called. The Volcanic Viper. Volcanic Viper is the skill that tends to seem to, like, really not only open up people, but lead to insane combos, especially if he gets clean hits. The amount of times I've seen him touch a death characters that aren't Chip is kind of baffling. Like, he really ends up, like, tearing heads off if he gets a clean hit Volcanic Viper. And it's like, that skill, if any skill needs to be toned down, I think that's what needs to be toned down, not his fast slash. And that might seem like sacrilege to some of you, but stick with me on this. The reason why I'm saying this is because I remember Killer Instinct, and I remember Jago when he launched, and a lot of people were complaining about how unstoppable he was. But then what they nerfed was, like, one of his kicks. They nerfed something that was unrelated to what people were saying was the problem, and it actually balanced out the whole character. Everyone was saying it was everything else that was the problem, but they changed this one little thing in a skill that people thought was unrelated, and the entire character clicks infinitely better. I know I'm talking over a cutscene, but I want to finish my point. But they reworked the whole character, and this might be just like a long shot take for me, but I feel like that's what needs to kind of happen with Soul. Everyone's complaining about fast slash being too strong, but I genuinely don't think that's the problem with Soul. I think the clean hit's the problem. I think Volcanic Viper is the problem. And I think if they just tweak, they don't get rid of Volcanic Viper's combo opportunity, just lower the damage slightly, and maybe make it a little less plus on block. Make it a little closer to minus or more in minus sort of thing, so it can be more challenged for people that are spamming it. Because that's all that means. The more minus an attack is on block, the more counterable it basically is. Like, I know I'm playing it very loosely, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I talk about fighting game terms kind of loosely, and that's because there's a glossary. Look it up online. Look up the fighting game glossary and look it up on that, and it will give you a detailed explanation with examples of what plus on block, minus on block, and yada yada everything means. Like, you'll get a much better idea of a lot of it through that. But anyway, we got the first of two bosses in this area, because as it was foreshadowed very bluntly, Noir's looking for us as well, and this is actually a roadblock for a lot of people in Rebirth 1, and especially the original version of Net 1. This is quite a difficulty spike. Not this boss, there's two bosses in a row. The second boss you fight after this guy will wipe the fucking floor with you. If you haven't grinded at all. If you've just been going through the main game and not really been bothering with optional dungeons, I guarantee you this will be a brick wall. And on my original playthrough, I got to this part at like level 11, around about, and my whole party just got demolished, and I had to grind up to like level 16 before I actually stood a chance. And that was when you only had a party of 3, and you know, obviously didn't have Plutia. I just had Nep, Iffy, and Compa. Obviously in reverse, as I said before, they've slightly rebalanced a lot of things, but the biggest thing is that you can have a party of 4 now to make it more unanimous with the rest of the series, to make it more standard with the rest of the series. And so for the simple matter of the entire game was originally balanced around a party of 3, but now you can have a 4th member, some of the challenge of the game isn't there anymore. It's still challenging, Like the stuff that you've already seen, especially when enemies get the virus thing, or they go viral or whatever it was called, when they get their more powered up form, when they can transform on low health, they can still be game enders. And you saw last video I got a game over on that optional boss. The game is still very challenging at points. Nep 1 is the hardest Nep game in my opinion. Well, I say that, it's an opinion that I know changes. Because in my reviews I did way back when, I said Nep 3 was the hardest. And the reason why I said that is because Nep 3 is more consistent with its difficulty. But I never really game overed in Nep 3, whilst in Nep 1 I game overed quite a few times. But Nep 1's difficulty is like a heartbeat. It will like spike up, but then there'll be points where the game is piss easy, and then there'll be another point where a random boss will just wipe the floor with you. In fact, then there's a dungeon coming up also in this chapter, in chapter 2, that's also a huge difficulty spike. I remember bringing up in the review that chapter 2 specifically is a giant difficulty spike of a chapter. The whole chapter's brutal.
That was
But we got a voice cutscene, so I actually have to shut up now.
It was rather quick because of you, Nep Nep. I've come as fast as I could, but I didn't expect them to be in battle. I lost my timing to show myself. I rushed here. But now that I've had the chance to cool myself down, attacking her now is too low for me. Still, it does make sense to fight so that I could regain my position. I can't lose my shares. I won't be able to win the console wars like this. But fighting Neptune now isn't like me. It isn't a great image as a goddess. I sure wouldn't enjoy my victory, and my pride wouldn't let me. Sadly enough, with my position now, I guess I've got no other choice.
Hey, wouldn't it have been faster if Nep in Trans Am mode flew us here?
No, there's no way I could carry you both. This is quite tiring, you know.
How about being our taxi for one pudding each direction? This is no ordinary pudding. I'm talking about the super premium one.
Ah, that's enticing, but I'll have to pass.
Aw, that's too bad. It would have been so easy if we just flew instead.
Enough on this already. I'm changing back.
Wait a second, Nep. Don't undo your transformation just yet.
What's the matter, Iffy? You won't be able to sway me with more puddings.
There's someone behind those rocks there.
What?
I didn't expect you to notice. Well done. It's been a while, Neptune. Of course, you probably don't know me now.
Iffy, is she?
Yes, she does look like you in that form of yours. That form and eyes. I think she probably knows something about you, Nep.
Indeed, I know Neptune very well.
Really? Then tell me, who am I?
Being asked for help by Neptune? Very well. Let me tell you.
Really?
That's great, Nep Nep. We finally met someone who knows you.
But it's on one condition.
Condition? What's that?
Do you have to ask? Defeat me in battle.
Okay, firstly, they gave Noir a badass new theme in reverse. I genuinely love this track. Take a listen.
Do to you.
Cry for me.
Bad.
There.
Who wants to take me on? Time to get it on.
Leave it to me.
I'm not done.
Out of my soul
This isn't over
combination.
yet.
You're hurt. Leave it to me. It's time for treatment.
My biggest hope with all these, like, because they did add brand new tracks in reverse. It wasn't just remixes of old ones that they did, which they also did a lot of. Like the normal boss theme, normal battle, normal mini boss theme, all got remixes in reverse that are unique to this to reverse sort of thing. But they added a bunch of new tracks, and I really hope that it's because they're making new music for a 5th game. I talked about it a lot during Neptunia V2R, but that Let's Play was quite a while ago, and we still haven't heard anything about a 5th mainline Nep. We heard forever ago that something might be happening, and I mean forever ago. It was when V2R first dropped. We heard that they were working on a new title that was going to be exceeding expectations by 100% or something like that. It was like 10. They wanted to be 10 times better than Net 4, or something to that extent. And we all assumed it was going to be Net 5, but it's been like 3 years since that. It was like end of 2018, I think that they talked about it. So it's been 2.5 years, approaching 3 years since then. And we still haven't heard a whisper. I know, like, the biggest thing is because at the same time they did that, they announced that they were working on a ninja-themed Net spin-off, which is actually coming out this year. And to be fair, looks really good. I don't say that for many of the spin-offs in the Neptunia series, but I think it's because it's crossing over a Senran Kagura and they want to make sure it's done right. They've really spent a lot more time on it, because most of the spin-offs, if you look at the development history of a lot of the spin-off Neptunia games, they're put together insanely fast. Which is why the quality in a fair number of them just aren't up to snuff, at least to me personally. Like I mentioned before, that Cyber Dimension was pretty fun, but the game was hideously short. I didn't like Super Nep, I didn't care for Virtua Stars. And some of their older ones, like Action Unleashed was okay at best. The dancing one was straight up terrible in my opinion. The Performer one, I think it was, I can't remember what it was called. But you know what I mean. Like, they haven't really had a spin-off that's really, like, taken off. But I think this one, as having a much longer development time, having a lot more focus with it, and the nature of that it's a crossover with Senran Kagura, they wanted to do it right, and it looks really good. But Blackheart will absolutely wipe the floor with you. I know I'm talking over a voice cutscene, but I need to make this point, that Blackheart, if she kicks your ass, don't feel bad. She is a wall. She is designed to be a dedicated test to see if you have learned how the game works, similar to Matador in Nocturne. She is designed to see that you have learned the game. It's just because I have played so many Neptunia games now that I didn't have much struggle with her. But I assure you, if you fight her yourself, if you're struggling, don't feel bad. Just grind up a little bit, rework your strategy, you will pull through.
No time to be tired. Let's go. She's our chance to get info on you.
Oh, lost to Neptune and my hard drive divinity is off now. Oh, what a day. I can't believe I lost to Neptune. Well, it was a 3-on-1, so I bet if it was 1-on-1, I would've...
Gotcha!
Ah!
Gotta catch 'em all!
What? Like, wait! What? Why?
I'm not letting you go until you spill everything you've got. Huh? Wait, I've got the wrong person.
Why are you here?
I'm looking for a girl. Did you see anyone come by? She's black, shiny, and was flying. I figured she'd be really easy to spot.
The description reminds me of an insect pest. Well, there was someone going down that direction. Like, really fast.
Oh, shucks. She was my important hint and all. Iffy is so not going to like hearing she got away. Whoops. So sorry. Just talking to myself there. By the way, why are you alone here? Hey, you're all scraped up.
Huh?
Yikes, you're really badly hurt. I know. You've been attacked by a monster. I'm here, so no worries now.
Right, you were the monster.
Hmm? Did you say something? Anyhow, your wounds look bad, but you okay?
Oh, it's only a bunch of scratches. Nothing to bawl over.
But it isn't good to assume you're fine without a professional opinion. I know. My friend is an expert in medicine, so let's have her check you.
What? Wait, no, really. It isn't a big deal.
Oh, don't worry. We won't charge you. No strings attached. Trust me.
That's not the point.
Compa! Where are you, Compa? Here, Compa, come here.
I don't think calling as if calling for a dog will work.
Did you call Nep Nep?
You're kidding me.
Surprised? I am, after all, the heroine. I have 108 skill styles, you know.
Stop lying, Nep. We just caught up to you right when you were yelling.
By the way, did you need anything, Nep Nep?
Yeah, oh, right. I haven't gotten your name yet. My name is Neptune. She's Compa, and the other is Iffy.
That's IF. Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Art.
What?
Noir.
Noir? fancy name. I bet you don't have any friends and stuff.
What? Why you... Oh! Is that the way you greet someone you meet for the first time?
Oh, lighten up. It's just a joke. I was just trying to be funny here.
You need to learn the when in being funny, Nep. Compa, will you?
Alrighty, leave it to me!
Hey, Iffy, you took my line.
Leave it to you and we'll never get things done.
Here you go. All patched up. I just cleaned the cuts and bandaged them. Thank you. This helps a lot. Was that Compa? Are you Neptune's friend? Yes. We've been best friends since I found her spear to the ground.
Or, speaking of, Noir, what were you doing in this dangerous place?
And all scratched up.
Something is fishy here.
Well, I'm not sure too, and...
What? Then you're a fellow amnesiac?
Huh? Oh yes, that's right, amnesia. I can't remember a single thing. It must have happened when I was attacked.
Way to make it sound real.
Uh-oh. Then how can we get you back home?
I know how you feel, Noir. It must be harsh without your memory.
Wait, we're believing her?
I know. I'll help you. Like, I've been without memory longer than you.
I guess that helps. So what should we do with Noir? How can we help get her home?
Well, why not take her to the Basilicom? They should keep her safe in custody.
What? Not over there. Those goons wouldn't know how to handle a girl right.
I know. Why not just have her tag along with us until her memory returns?
That was close. If they took me back, my cover would be blown, and I would look bad too. I better just do what Neptune says and tag along. What? Tag along? As in, together?
You don't like it? But we are memory loss buddies, so let's stay together.
Yes. It's safer than being at the Basilicon. It's fun with more friends, too. It's not like I don't like it, but, I was just surprised.
I'll take it you don't mind then. Again, nice to meet you, Noir.
Oh, Noir. Noir as a character gets shit on a lot. Like, I think she's got a more appreciation over the years, but Noir, I remember, like, when I first started getting into it, Noir was the character I struggled with the most. Like, I liked Nep as a character for the most part, even though some of her jokes and some of her timing for jokes can be a little annoying. I love Blanc, I think more so because I relate so heavily to Blanc, where she just wants to be left alone and gets really angry sometimes. And Vert, specifically in this game, I think is fantastic. You'll see what I mean when we get to Vert, but Vert, Super Dimensions version of Vert is a gift. And the way they changed her character in the second game onwards is really depressing. Because they turned her from genuinely my favourite character in this game to, like, my least favourite. Because they just changed so much about her character. Like, I don't get me wrong, I like her character, I just don't think she's as fun as she was in the original. But that being said, I gotta wrap this up, so next time on Neptunia Reverse, we'll try and learn more about what the fuck's going on in Lastation and why Avenir has taken over so much. But until then, take care now, peace.